I hope I'm wrong. Happy Memorial Day. Back in a moment. You can now watch new episodes of the No Spin News live on Samsung TV Plus. Tune in each weeknight at 8 p.m. on the First TV for breaking news, honest analysis, and the best election coverage in America. Please join me, Bill O'Reilly, at the First TV, now available on Samsung TV Plus. Start watching today on your Samsung television, Galaxy devices, or the Samsung TV Plus mobile app. Check out the No Spin News each weeknight at 8 p.m. on the First TV, Samsung TV Plus. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good Friday morning, Friday freedom lovers.
Such alliteration.
I should have practiced that on the way in. Good morning, Kenny. How are you, baby?
Hey, great, Vic. How are you, sir?
All right, man. Got ourselves a Friday, and a Friday before a 3-day weekend is always a little bit more energy in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Because
traffic's less.
Traffic was less today, man. I couldn't
know.
believe it. And, I love Paul Cook. We all love Paul Cook.
Oh, yeah.
Doing traffic on Channel 5.
Watch him every morning.
Me too. And when 270 North is bad, he'll go, take 141. I'm like, Paul, don't send people to 141. That's my ride in, man. My wife just laughs at me. But that's the deal. Okay, so David Stokes is going to join us coming up here in a little bit. A lot of things to talk about with him. Mr. Connor's Neighborhood, 925. Ken has something to say during Larry Connor's Neighborhood.
Just something I was thinking about last night. Talking with my wife.
You don't want to work with me anymore, is that what it is?
You'll see.
Jay Ashcroft, 941, our Secretary of State, Deputy Managing Editor of RedState.com, Susie Moore, and the Wheel of Audio Clips at 1041. Ken, who leads us this morning in the Pledge of Allegiance?
From the Heritage Foundation and the Daily Caller, it is Rob Bluey.
Rob Bluey, go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got to find Morgan Freeman doing it. I'm sure he's done it somewhere along the line. And we got to find James Earl Jones.
Oh, both. Oh, my goodness. Both of those.
Two such distinct voices.
Amazing, yeah.
All right, let's get rolling here, ladies and gentlemen. In the red corner, heavyweight champion of municipal policy at the Show Me Institute, David Stokes.
Wait, Vic, there it is.
David, how are you, baby?
I'm doing great. I was waiting on the bell. I can't say anything to the bells.
That's
exactly right. I just had the wrong page up. I thought I had the right one.
The champ always gets to come out last, right? When you have a fight, you have the contender comes out first, and then the champ comes out last. So years ago, there was a heavyweight championship fight between Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks, right? And Michael Spinks thought he was going to use a strategy and try to make Mike Tyson come out first. And Mike Tyson wouldn't come out first. So it took forever to get them both in the ring. But Tyson was getting madder and madder. And I said to my friend Sal, I said, this fight is going to last 30 seconds. I said, Mike Tyson is going to kill this guy in 30 seconds. And sure enough, it was about 90 seconds, first round. All right, David. So let's talk about the libraries. They're going to close 3 libraries in St. Charles County. Funding issues. I mean, what's the problem?
Well, mostly I just want to talk about the Tyson Spinks fight.
Yeah.
Now, Vic, that was great. I had a bunch of friends over, and we all missed the fight because we didn't know it was going to be over so fast.
Well, I'll tell you. Just go ahead.
But that was such a great night. Best 90 seconds of Mike Tyson's life. Probably.
We were at a place in New York called the Ritz, which was actually a concert hall, and it was a 2-part thing that night. Graham Parker and the Rumor played, and then following the concert was the Tyson fight. So the radio station that I worked for, I had a pass that I could get into any concert I wanted at the Ritz with my pass, right? So I got in, first of all, for free, and we were standing right by the stairs. And that all happened, what I talked about. 90 seconds later, we ran out of there. We were home by the time some of the people got out of that place. That's how packed it was. It was a fun night, though.
Yes. So, speaking of fights,
Yes.
in this case, segue into a policy fight.
Yep.
So this in St. Charles, the library board, which is an independent taxing district out there, like a school board or a fire district or whatever, they've proposed closing 3 branches. I think they have about a dozen branches overall. So, libraries have changed in the last 25 years. As your listeners might be aware, the internet has changed a few things in our lives. And people don't necessarily go and use the library the same way they used to. And it's not to say libraries still aren't important or needed, but, the business has changed. So in response to this and some funding issues, the library board has responsibly, I think, proposed cutting a couple of branches. And some of the people in St. Charles County are very opposed to this. And you can certainly, if one of those branches was the one by your house that you take your kids to, then you can understand why you'd be upset.
Right.
So but this is the deal. And so there's a lot of anger in it. Now, you never know whether there's a small but loud group organizing opposition to it, or if they represent truly the majority of the community. So people have proposed in some of the Post-Dispatch articles on it, and it seems a rather obvious thing to consider as to whether they should consider a property tax increase for the library district in St. Charles County. And I do think, I'm not saying that they should increase property taxes at all. I am saying that that's a good example of the benefits of our property tax system. Meaning, if the people of the county want to save those branches and want to keep their library district without any cuts, and to be clear, nobody's proposing getting rid of the library district, it's just cutting a few branches. If they don't want to do that, the people of St. Charles can sort of put their money where their mouth is and approve at the ballot box, a small property tax increase to do that. And if most of the people of St. Charles are happy with these cuts and don't want to pay higher taxes, they can vote it down. So this is a good spot for a property tax increase proposal. I don't want to say a property tax increase because it's not my money, and if I lived out there, I don't know how I'd vote. But this is how the system is supposed to work with our Hancock Amendment and property taxes. And one important caveat I want to make is everything I'm talking about, it only works if it goes on like a November ballot, like this November, where a lot of people are going to vote. Too often we see these local property tax proposals on obscure special elections where only 15% of the people show up, and they tend to be the 15% of the people who benefit most from it, and the people who don't use whatever service it is but still pay, they don't show up. So it would have to be on like a November ballot, and I think you'd get a fair choice out there for the people of St. Charles. So I think it's a good proposition for the community.
All right, let me just ask out of ignorance. I haven't been in a library for a long time. I'm assuming that when you borrow a book from the library, it's still free, right? So what if a very small rental fee for the books you take out? I'm not talking about, even $5, $1 maybe per book. I guess that can't generate enough revenue, right?
Well, no, that's another option, because so many of the books that library users take out now are online. So it's not like the library is buying 20 copies of a new book and giving them out and that. Every time the library people rent out online, that library might have to pay a fee for that, for the online access, or the streaming subscription for people who watch movies or videos or other services at the library. Libraries have a tremendous audio-visual component now, as they have for a long time. So absolutely, Vic, one of the other options out there, and one that should strongly be considered, is do they have to perhaps increase fees? Not for, your child goes and takes a book out. I mean, there's no marginal cost of whether that book goes out 5 times or 10 times. But there is a marginal cost whether something's checked out online frequently or streaming frequently. So addressing that with imposing charges for some types of these uses to address the budget shortfall, that's a perfectly good thing to consider. And one thing that I hope the library district is considering, and if they can close the budget gap with a modest user fee increase, and we write about this all the time at showmeinstitute.org, how local governments should use user fees to the largest extent possible. It's not always possible. Nobody wants to, you call 911, nobody wants to send you a bill because you called 911. But sometimes it is possible, and perhaps this is a good example for it. So I like the debate that's happening there. First of all, in St. Charles about the library board. First of all, I like that the library board is trying to exercise fiscal discipline and make tough choices and not just looking to raise revenues only and not make cuts where they think they need to make cuts. So kudos to them for making some cuts, or at least proposing some cuts, and making the tough choices to show fiscal discipline and fiscal restraint. We need a lot more of that at every level of government in America, including the local level.
Right.
But if these people opposed to it, if they truly represent the majority of the people of St. Charles County, and I have no idea whether they do or do not, then the library district should consider these alternative things. And yes, as you just asked, user fee increase for portions of these services, that's well worth considering.
And just a couple of other possible solutions, again, from a completely ignorant point of view. But an angel backer, somebody with a lot of money that wants to help out the libraries, maybe somebody who grew up in St. Charles County is now a great big rich guy and say, hey, let me help out the libraries. Or multiple fundraising events. I haven't noticed many fundraising events for the library, I mean, like big time fundraising events.
Right. Like I like the bumper sticker from the 70s. It'll be a great day when the libraries have all the money they need and the Air Force has to have a bake sale to buy a bomber. Like we'll go back to those bumper stickers there. It's funny you said though, Vic, about the angel thing. I don't think that's a long-term strategy. That part's a long-term strategy for St. Charles, but just north of St. Charles in Lincoln County, I believe it's Lincoln County, they don't have a public library, and it might be Pike County. They're one of those counties just north of St. Charles, but I think it's Lincoln. They don't have a taxpayer-supported library because years ago, a century ago, a very wealthy resident of Lincoln County donated the money to fund a private library in Lincoln County. So they have a library up there that's open to everybody, but it's privately funded based on the massive donation this person made. So that is possible that almost every county in Missouri has a public library system, but a couple don't. That includes, I think, Christian County down near Branson and Lincoln County, although it may be Pike, one of those two. So that is something that can work. Although I think once you have the current system up and running, that'd be a tricky one. As for fundraising, of course, there's nothing wrong with taxpayer-supported institutions also doing outside charitable fundraising to help fund themselves. Many organizations, particularly a library, is going to have a lot of its revenue from state and federal grants. Probably too much revenue in some respects. The ease of getting federal grants, in particular, for local governments generally, is one of the reasons why we're $35 trillion in debt. And I'm not really focusing that on the libraries per se, but on transit agencies like Metro, who can do things they shouldn't otherwise do, like this $1 billion expansion proposal, because they can go get $800 million of it from the federal government. So why wouldn't you build it if the federal government's paying for it? That's the attitude that's led us to being $34, $35 trillion in debt.
So let me ask, because again, I don't know, the buildings, the actual buildings of the libraries, are they owned by the county? Do they pay rent? What's the the revenue costs there?
I believe that these buildings are all owned by the library district. It certainly is possible. It is possible. I know that in some libraries rent their space. I believe Rock Hill Library in University City Library and Rock Hill Library both rented space during renovations in recent years. So they both rented space. Although again, those were for like a year or two while they were renovating their main complexes. So there are absolutely libraries out there that rent space for particularly for some of their satellite branches, not so much for their main one, but satellites. But I think since the library is considering closing them and not just ending a lease, I have to believe that the county library district owns all three of these branches that they're seeking to close. And look, I'm sure they're valuable pieces of property that could be then sold and make good money for the library district. And if they have to then help stabilize funding for the remaining 8 or 9 other branches, that's a good thing. Again, I've got no problem with what the library district is doing. I commend local government anytime they exercise fiscal discipline and keep within budgets. But, and all the suggestions you've made are well worth considering, and I hope the library district does them. But if it comes down to a stark choice, and it's either close these 3 districts or raise taxes, the property tax is the right way to do that. And what I mean by that is, I wouldn't want the library board or the people to try and do a sale. They don't have authority to do this, but in theory, try and do a sales tax or a hotel tax or some other type of tax, trying to push the cost of the library onto other people who don't live there full time. You get the best decisions made when the people who live there and are served by the library, or at least in theory could use it, when they're the ones choosing whether they want to raise their own taxes or not. That's, people think long and hard about that, and they're willing to say no. And if they're saying yes, at least they're the ones paying for it, and they're not exporting the cost to tourists or shoppers or commuters or all these other things that make it easier for local government to grow because the people using it aren't the ones paying for it entirely.
All right.
And that's what you would have here, and that's how the system is supposed to work.
All right, Dave, we're out of time, unfortunately, but I had one more idea that unfortunately we're not going to get time to talk about, but think about it, and the next time you come back, what about like sponsorships, like the Amarin Fiction section or something like that?
I would imagine the library does some things like that. I'm sure that this library system has a development staff that does do fundraising and things like that. And if they can increase that enough to keep the branches and keep everybody happy, well worth considering.
Yeah,
but
keep
I like
branches
to
open.
give a property tax vote because it'll give us something to talk about for the next 6
That's
months.
right, something to fight about, you bet. All right, as always, great. The heavyweight champion of municipal policy, David Stokes. ShowMeInstitute.org, at David C. Stokes on Twitter. Dave, thanks so much.
Thanks, Vic. Thanks, Ken.
See you, Dave.
Even David Stokes sets the posts on this show.
Heck yeah.
All right, it's Friday. Wait, is it Friday?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Friday.
It is Friday. I'll be damned. Wheel of Audio Clips, 1041. Susie Moore, 1005. J. Ashcroft, 941. Coming up next, Mr. Connor's Neighborhood with the legend himself, Larry Connors. That's next on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number 1 for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
I think it was President Reagan said, "We're from the government. We're here to help."
I think you all know that I've always felt the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
So August 30th, a new movie in theaters called Reagan.
You got to see it.
And Dennis Quaid is going to play Ronald Reagan.
He would be perfect.
They show a clip of it, and he's Reagan. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. I'm like, oh, my God. I'll pay for a movie ticket to see that. You bet. All right. Sorry. Listen, when you die, and by the way, it's on your schedule. It's going to happen one of these days. You're going to leave your money to one of 3 groups. The government, through taxes, the medical or care community by not planning for health needs, or what we really prefer, our children or charity of our choice, right? Let's make sure we put our kids and our goals first before we start giving money to slush funds from the government. So how do we do that, you ask? Well, Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management is there again to help out, as he always is. And he has got some great plans, tax-efficient strategies for income planning, legacy, and for growth, okay? We've talked about Chris helping you out with long-term care. Yep, he's got the same kind of strategies to help you out with, probate and, leaving money to who you want to, your kids. So listen to this. Chris Cooper has written another book he doesn't want to make any money on. This one's called The New Historic Retirement. And you know how much it costs? Nothing. Free. Get it right now at SerenityNowTax.com. That's SerenityNowTax.com for Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now!
1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL, live and local.
Listen to what those local folks are telling you.
News Talk STL.
Hey, it's Tony Colombo for the Cleaning Pros at Zero Res. Zero Res knows there's nothing more important than the health of your family, and the health of your home has a direct impact on that, and that's why they have this great offer for the month of May. Book a cleaning now and mention the Colombo special, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129. Plus, you can take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Keep your home clean and healthy with the pros at Zero Res. Just mention the Colombo special when you call 314-474-2020 or when you book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Feel the sizzling heat of summer savings at Seidenstricker Nobe Partners. Rev up your summer with 0% financing for 84 months with 0 down on a John Deere compact tractor. You can purchase a 1 Series tractor for less than $10 a day. It's time to elevate your equipment game with a hard-working, versatile tractor. Don't let this sizzling hot deal on compact tractors slip away. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 7/31/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
This is what's happening.
I condemn the anti-Semitic protest. What he needs to be doing is being the commander-in-chief.
1019 and 94.1
It is in some ways like 1933 in Germany.
News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
So I say this gently. The Biden administration sucks.
Correct! Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
You know, with all the AI, I want to have Senator John Kennedy's voice on my GPS. In a mile, turn right.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be good?
That's a great idea.
It'll say, stop by the tomato stand, too.
In 2,500 feet, you'll see some tomatoes, which are really good.
They're really good. Get them.
All right, let's get into the neighborhood. I just love that guy so much. I swear. Turn right.
He can't turn left.
St. Louis. It's Mr. Connor's neighborhood.
All right, Larry Connors, the legend here in town. Of
Boy,
course.
every time you say that, I think, oh, my God. When they use that phrase.
People are usually dead, right? Checking your pulse.
Yeah.
Well, actually, to both of you, I want to say something that I've been thinking about with my wife. We were just talking about this last night, in fact.
I didn't talk to your wife.
It's got to do with your big deck?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, we were out on
you
the
did
big...
not.
Yeah,
you did not.
He did. He
You
did.
got a big deck.
I just built it, and we were out on it, Vic. And we were talking about, the show and everything. And I just want to say it is my honor to be here with 2 absolute legends. I grew up with you, Larry Connors, and Vic. I worked with you for 14 years. We didn't work directly together, but man, you are an icon, dude.
You know what? This is an amazing group, and this is an amazing group of people we have at this station. Really, we got so much talent at this station.
But I want to take this moment for you. He hates to take compliments.
He does.
He really, and I just want to say, every Friday I look very forward to being in the middle of you two. So thank you.
Well, I look forward to being.
Called you a legend. Called me. Check our pulse. Make sure we're still alive, right? Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Well, it's like Biden. We're checking see if he's breathing. We don't need a mental capacity.
Ken, thank you so much, man. That's
thank you, Ken, and again. Ken is almost become, well, I'd say he is an assistant producer. He's been supplying me a lot of sound bites that I'm going to pull anyway. It just saves me the trouble. And sometimes I combine them to make it a little bit longer because you use shorter bites, but I really appreciate it, Ken.
My pleasure.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Let's talk about something very serious, very sad, very devastating. Missouri State Rep Ben Baker's daughter and son-in-law were killed in Haiti, and they're there on a
missionary trip.
Right. You know, they're there to help, and these gangs in Haiti kill both of them. I can't imagine.
That island is filled with violence and lawlessness right now.
Half the island, because nothing ever happens in the Dominican Republic. Everything's great over there.
Yeah.
The other side of the island in Haiti is always a problem.
Haiti is the problem. And I don't know how long they've been in country or been there as a mission. I have not seen or heard that. Have you?
I'm looking good.
But I will tell you this: my daughters were members of Central Presbyterian Church, and they'd gone on different mission trips, Jamaica, and I'm almost sure they'd never went to Haiti. I was checking with them. But anytime your kids are off on a mission trip like that, all kinds of things can happen. I mean, driving along some dirt roads on the edge of a hill, anything like that. But in this case, I mean, the horror that they face, and I don't know if they were trying to get out of the country long before this happened. I'd be interested in that story. But here's where some people will come forward and say, well, where's God? Where's God in this? You don't blame God for this. It's man's sin. And we've had that since from the beginning of time. And they're doing God's work. And everybody would say, well, why would they be taken? Well, again, it's man's sin. It's not God's decision. But all of our days are numbered and written in the book anyway. So
I just can't.
But I hope it was quick for them, but I'm fear it wasn't. Same thing about these Israeli women that were taken, and now the video's being released. We knew all that stuff was happening, but it is so graphic. And when you start thinking, I would hope all these young women on these campuses that are out there chanting for Hamas would be forced to sit down and watch that, much like we did when we were first taking driver's ed in high school.
Yeah.
Remember, you had to watch that video of all these car wrecks and everything.
Yep.
It sobered you up a little bit, hopefully.
But I just, my heart and my sympathies, I think all of our
prayers
to Ben Baker and his family.
I can't imagine. No parent should have to bury their child ahead of them.
No. All right. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
No, I'm glad you touched on it. Thank you.
So Donald Trump was expecting 3,500 people
times 10
at a rally in the
times
South
100.
Bronx. Turns out 25,000 people in the South Bronx. Is this a part
was
of
AOC in that crowd? I think, I'm not sure. She might have tried to.
She was off to the side doing a rain dance.
Yeah.
This is a clip from somebody who found out about the rally.
Keep saying it, and I don't care what people say. They can get mad at me. If Trump was in office, this would have never went down. Trump 2024. They just had a Trump rally in the South Bronx.
South Bronx. Yeah, you told me that.
South Bronx.
I love it.
And that's all Latins and blacks there.
Latins and blacks got tired of the Democrats scheming us and lying to us. And the Republicans said, we told you so.
Yeah.
We told you so.
Yeah. And Hillary's not an election denier either.
No,
so,
she's not an election denier.
And you know what? And I'm so glad that they've always been able to think for themselves, but they just followed the crowd. I told you recently I was at the St. Louis City Republicans gathering, and there were maybe 4 or 5 black people. And I'm sitting there talking to one of them, and I said, why did you decide to go for the Republican? He said, my daddy and his daddy, we've all been following Democrats, and look where we are. We haven't gotten anywhere.
Yeah.
And
the lies and the pandering by Joe Biden and by Hillary Clinton.
Pandering is unbelievable. It's just sickening.
Yeah.
Oh, give them more student loans. They're taking 1 million barrels of gasoline out of the Northeast Strategic Reserves to spread them around 3 states for the Memorial Day holiday. And there'll be additional dippage to decrease prices.
Well, that's my biggest problem with this whole thing with the Biden administration. They have nothing to stand on. They have nothing in their policy to stand on. So what do? They give money to students to try and draw that.
Are they trying in a way?
Yeah, both of my daughters have never seen any of that, by the way.
Right.
But I don't want them to either. They're paying their bill. The second thing is, of course, all the other stuff you're talking about. Going into our reserve. This isn't
It's
going
meant for an emergency with everything shit. If we have major hurricanes.
Yeah, but it's not even going to make an impact, they're saying. They're saying this reserve that he's pushing forward is not going to lower the price at all.
No, it's not.
The closer we get to war, which we seem to be getting closer and closer every day, it gets even more frightening.
Well, the other thing is, if you stood, you can't go close to within 150 feet of the election polling place. But if you stood just outside that and offered everybody coming forward, here's $20 to vote for Biden, then you'd be arrested for bribing voters. He is doing it on a daily basis with our tax dollars
great analogy.
And playing games.
Great analogy.
I saw this thing with Kamala Harris talking, of course, and she's for about 10 seconds. And she said, they're actually not allowing us to feed and water people that are standing in line in the voting booth. It has been debunked, number one, but how often have you ever went into a voting line and needed water and food to survive. That's what she made it sound like. That
Survive,
they're
right.
not going to survive if we don't give them food
All
and
the
water.
black voters who just drop dead.
And they just drop dead.
And the fact is, they can put water coolers, so forth, out for them if it's long Georgia summer and long people waiting. But you just can't have the representatives, one of the candidates, distributing it. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Poll workers can come out and do it all day long.
Yeah. So with the pandering with Joe when he was at Morehouse University, what is democracy? Black men being killed in the street. I mean, there was nothing positive. If I were in that crowd, I'd be like, I want to hear something a little bit more positive out of the person doing the commencement. I'm waiting. When do we come to a day when Joe says, in Delaware, I was raised by a family of cicadas?
I'm sorry I left. That might be fact.
That might be true.
That could be, yeah.
That might be true.
Have you heard the cicadas a lot, right?
Larry, I open up my back door and it's like a movie. You go out and it's loud. They're on the trees. They're on the fence.
But I know one
found
thing.
one like this big, like 2 inches big. I'm like, this is a horror movie.
Yeah, you know what? But you're not hearing the female cicadas, do you?
Why?
Because your wife told me you never hear her voice. You don't hear female voices. That's what she told me. So
the cicadas?
Yeah, and so you're not hearing the female cicadas.
Last night I was listening and I heard, are you going to put out the garbage?
Went right over there.
I was at Schutz in Limburg this morning. No kidding. No joke, Vic.
Not a joke.
Not a joke. And I'm sitting there waiting for the light to turn green, and one flew into my car in the window. And right there on my steering wheel, I grabbed him, and he made this noise in my hand. It was nice.
Barbecue them. Hey, in the South, barbecue, deep fry, and ketchup. You're good to go.
My wife said there was one on her car when she went to get in it the other day. And she walked up and I don't know if there's a Jersey word or just our word, but she phenockled it. Phenockled it to death. Death by phenockel. Pow!
Wow.
All right. Larry Connors, USA, 6 to 8 o'clock. Larry, I say it every week. I'm not kidding. It's one of the greatest shows I've ever heard.
I'm most honored, gentlemen.
And Quentin,
and
I'd like
honored
to throw out a
this.
shout out to Quentin on how great he makes it sound.
Oh, he does. He does a great job. I mean, it's an extremely complicated program, and you guys have one too. And he's sharp, really sharp.
He's great. 7:30, 12:03, 3:30.
You're an amazing person.
I know, that's you.
Tell Susie Q hello for me.
We will. 10:05 we'll do just that.
Yep.
All
She's
right.
going to be hosting for me next, not next month, after. So I need a break. So she's great. She's great.
I'm not good enough, I guess, to do that show. So.
No.
Mr. Connor's Neighborhood on the Vic Porcelli Show.
No matter what you do in radio or in business, when you sit with the best in the business for a few minutes, you realize you're not quite that good. You know what I mean? You're not quite Larry Connors. Listen to him tonight, 6 to 8 o'clock on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL. #1 for live and local conservative talk. The Secretary of State is next.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
I have a theory. People talk loud when they want to act smart, right? Correct!
On News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
Hey, St. Louis, my name is Rob Carter. If you are sick and tired of the corporate news bubble, if you like unedited information free from corporate money, if you want straight talk with no script, join me weeknights from 8 to 10 p.m. on The Rob Carter Show.
Live and local, weeknights at 8 on News Talk STL.
Hey, it's Columbo for Capriati's Sandwich Shop. Capriati's is famous for setting themselves apart due to their dedication to superior quality and ingredients like slow-roasted, hand-pulled whole turkey and American Wagyu straight from Snake River Farms. That dedication to superior quality is evident from the very first bite into a Capriati sandwich. Visit Capriati's Sandwich Shop 7 days a week at the corner of Manchester and McKnight in Rock Hill and get more info, including how to impress at your next event with their great catering at capriatis.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness 101. Wellness 101 is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense, science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. For more information, visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Never paint again. This is Darren, owner of Rhino Shield. Want to eliminate painting your home, business, or church? Call the experts at Rhino Shield. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary ceramic wall coating to regular paint and vinyl. Perfect for aluminum, steel, unpainted brick, block, stucco, ephes, drive-it, cement board, and wood sidings. Rhino Shield eliminates wasting time and money painting year after year. Our ceramic coating deflects 90% of the sun's UV rays and 100% of the moisture. Our clients want affordable protection with the elimination of maintenance. Rhino Shield protects your biggest investment while maintaining your architectural features and gives you the curb appeal you deserve. Make your home great again by working with the Rhino Shield experts. A+ rated with the BBB. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This hour of the Vic Porcelli Show brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com.
How sweet it is to be loved by you.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Over here, dear.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Needed someone to understand.
What was the crowd like and what kind of response did he get?
Well, certainly a bigger crowd than I think Democrats would like to see, particularly given this is one of the bluest counties in the entire country. Now, one of the things that was interesting to me is that the Trump campaign said that they were going to micro-target to get people from the community to come to this rally. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've gone to a lot of these rallies across the country, and there are often people who travel hundreds of miles to see Donald Trump, and they're not necessarily part of the community. However, one of the things that I found was that there were a lot of people here that were actually from the Bronx.
It's killing them.
It's killing them.
It is eating away at their very soul that 25,000 people showed up in the South Bronx for Donald Trump, where apparently everybody hates him. So you see, little by little, we're finding out not everybody hates him, okay? There are people who are sick to death.
Wait a minute. They don't all hate him?
That's what I'm thinking if they showed up.
25,000.
Pretty much that's a lot of the South Bronx. Okay, let's welcome our Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft. Happy birthday!
Hey, happy birthday. Happy Memorial Day, just a little bit early. Just as you spend time with friends and family, remember those men and women that gave the last full measure of devotion so that we can enjoy our liberties.
Absolutely. It's great to have you on a Friday, of course. That's when we always talk.
Friday!
Yeah.
Hey, there's the speaker. Whose birthday? It's the speaker's birthday.
It's today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mr. Speaker. Hey!
Happy birthday!
What a party. Holy cow. All right.
Happy birthday, Tim.
I want to ask you, happy birthday, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask you a question about the gubernatorial race, right? Off the bat, we talked to Bill Eigel earlier this week, and we spoke about a debate. Is there going to be debates with you guys or what?
Yeah, I assume there will be. We've had forums. I was just at a candidate forum last night. Unfortunately, Bill once again didn't show up, but I have no problems getting out and listening to the people and talking to the people. I traveled every county in the state every year. I'm happy to talk about my record and what I want as opposed to throwing darts at other people. I'm more than happy to do it.
All right. I can't wait to see that happen. I guess it's going to be how many? We got the secretary. We got Bill Eigel. We got Kehoe. Is that it? Just the three of you guys?
There's 9, I think, on the ballot.
Oh my God!
Well,
holy cow! That's more people than running for Secretary of State.
Almost.
Okay.
By one.
So here's what I love though. You went down to the Cape and spoke to the troops and I
Yes.
love that. And tell me how that trip was.
You know, that was awesome. There is so much in today's world that can make you feel depressed, that can make you feel like there's no hope. And then going down and seeing those young men and women, engineering group from the Guard, I should mention too, engineering, which soft spot in my heart for engineers. But to see those young men and women that are putting on the uniform, that have a day job, but also say we're going to be a part when they need extra help. The Guard is going to be there. And to see those young men and women that are doing that, that are going to be deployed, that are standing up for all the values and the rights and privileges that we enjoy as Americans, it tells me there's hope. It tells me that this country is still worth fighting for, and we're going to win.
And we're still an all-voluntary military force, you know, and I think that's that really, really shows that people going out and doing it because they want to defend this country and they want to be patriotic.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, the legislative session, Mr. Secretary. I mean, we have but we have to talk about August, okay? Because we have to stop waiting till November just to vote for the person with the R after their name. We have to personally figure out a way to vet everybody who's running for state Senate or the state House. We have to do it.
Yeah, we the people have to vet. We the people have to self-educate. I would encourage every Missourian before any election, a couple of weeks before any election, get that sample ballot from your local election officials so you know who's on the ballot, you know what issues are on the ballot, and you can decide. You can't believe the television commercials. Radio commercials are better, right, guys?
That's right. Radio gets results. You bet.
Right.
What a politician says, look at their records. Look at what they've done. Because we are responsible for the government we get. We get the government we deserve. We need to be involved, and we need to take back this country. And, the legislative session is over, so we should all feel safer. There are some things I wish they had gotten done. We should have gotten a big tax cut, should have improved our elections. But there's a whole lot of crap they didn't pass, and I'm glad they didn't.
All right, going to the ballot, two issues that seem like common sense. I mean, if you really think about things, ranked choice voting, so bad. Non-citizens voting, so illegal. And it's going to the ballot. What are your thoughts on that?
I think those are the easy buttons of politics. We don't change how we vote just because we want a different outcome. That's what sore losers do. And Democrats in Missouri want to change the rules because the people of the state have resoundingly time and time again said, no, we don't agree with those values. And then the idea that someone from another country that isn't an American should be voting in my elections, determining who my president is, who my senator, who my dog catcher is, that's bogus. That's ridiculous. We must stand up for the idea that only American citizens are allowed to vote in American elections.
We are talking to the Missouri Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft. So let's talk about some national/international stuff. Two illegal Jordanians tried to breach Quantico, and we're trying to figure out why with the way the border's open. Really?
Look, it is an invitation to have this happen. We see all the time that people are flying into Mexico and then paying $10,000 or more to the cartels to bring them across the border. They're coming with their nice luggage. They're coming nicely dressed. I saw on Fox News the other day, they were talking about people as they came over the border, they were putting cologne on. So it is ridiculous what we're doing. It is unbelievable that our government is continuing to allow people to illegally cross. You know there are terrorists that are a part of that, and yet Joe Biden is doing nothing to stop it. I think we need to send word to Washington, D.C. that they're all invading our country to eat all of our ice cream, and maybe then Joe Biden will do something.
All right. Let's finish up with some thoughts about Memorial Day. I want people, and most people do understand the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Any Veterans Day, any day of the year, thank somebody for serving. But Memorial Day is reserved for people who didn't come back.
I would only say this. It is specifically for people that didn't come back, but it should also be for the family members of the people that didn't come back.
Of course.
For the loved ones they left behind, and realize that just because a veteran came back, it didn't mean they didn't sign that blank check.
Right.
It didn't mean that they put themselves in situations where they might not come back. You're not a hero for giving your life for your country. You're a hero for being willing to do so. So yes, let's specifically think of those that gave their lives, but let's be thankful for every veteran that's willing to do whatever it takes for all of us.
All right. Website for the campaign, Mr. Secretary.
AshcroftforMissouri.com or Ashcroft for Missouri on Facebook. and I guess it's now called X officially at J Ashcroft Mo.
Okay, fair enough. Have a great birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! And how about those Battlehawks?
Oh, I forgot all about. I'm so sorry. Battlehawks make the playoffs. Awesome. All right, thank you, Mr. Secretary. All right, Ken. I have some sad news I have to pass along to you.
What's up?
Can you play me some Sonia Dada as we talk about it? And not that it was anybody in Sonia Dada, but I have, and there's a picture of it on Facebook I put up a couple of years ago of an all-access pass that I had for Sonia Dada because we were treated like royalty when that band came.
Oh yeah.
At the pageant. And that pass was given to me by Jesse Rhea. Jesse has passed away.
Wow. Oh, man. Of what?
Don't know. I know that Jesse was a great guy. He treated my radio station over there like we were the kings of radio.
Jesse had, wow.
And he also, there's an Italian pasta that if you looked at it and you don't really know how to say it, not only not in Italian, but in that Napoletan way that we talk about sometimes, right? You would say, Asini Pepe. That's what it says on the box, right? But the Napoletan say, Algini Babe. That's how we would say it. And I put up a picture of Algini Babe dish one night on Facebook, and Jesse was like, I love Algini Babe. I use it all the time. And he'd put it in a dish, and he tagged me in it on Facebook. But he had such a great heart. Jesse had a great heart.
Jesse was always amazing to me. And wow, we'll miss him for sure.
All right. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I don't want to start crying. Great guy, Jesse Rhea.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we check the chat box, Ken? That's a fun Friday thing, right?
Yeah.
Boy, it's tough. The emotions just roller
Everywhere,
coaster.
Yeah.
You pick.
Oh, let's go with Facebook.
Go with Facebook first. Amy says, good morning, Vic Heads. It's Friday. Jane Pushkar. I'm smarter for having listened. Good morning, Vic Heads. Jane Pushkar also says, Bill Eigel had a fundraiser last night. Mr. Ashcroft knows this. All right. On the Rumble box, DLW. I think that guy's name is Don. Happy Friday, Vic Heads. Good morning, butt faces. I don't know if this guy likes us or doesn't like us.
I think Buttface is so endearing. I think he likes us.
40 grand battery. Says, good morning, butt faces.
I like it.
All right. Ed Story, I pledge allegiance to the flag night. Huh?
Thanks,
right.
Vic Head.
Right. Thanks, you Vic Head. I pledge allegiance to the flag Knights of America. No felix.
No peace.
No felix.
No peace.
No peace. It's Friday and Memorial Day weekend, so good morning, all Patriot Vic Heads. That's from the Duke. May we pray for the souls of those lost in service to our country. They defended our rights to be free and to be able to chat here, etc. Let's not forget. Let us not let others dictate that. Oh, you know what I meant to mention when we were talking to the secretary about Memorial Day? If you get a chance to come into my neighborhood in Manchester, on Manchester Road from 141 to Baxter, it's like this walk of heroes, and every light post has a banner of a guy from Manchester who served.
That's awesome.
And one of them is Walter LaPere, who the American Legion is named after.
Right.
He's always right there too. He every year he's there, and if you make a right at Walter LaPere, you go right to the Walter LaPere American Legion. So if you get a chance to come down and take a look at it, it really is moving. And I got to tell you, you look at the people that are on these little banners, and you realize that some of them died in battle because born in 1920, died in 1945. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you know that they were killed in battle. All right, a couple more, Ken, then we'll get to the phone call. I promise.
Yeah.
TGIF from Cubis, 101 straight up. Oh, I like that. Good morning, Vic Heads. Remember the reason for your coming long weekend? I know I'll be hitting Jefferson Barracks at some point.
Yeah, my parents are there.
Oh my God, smoked pulled pork at Jefferson Barracks.
Yeah,
the Boy Scouts still put the flags.
I think they do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think they do.
At the Trump rally, AOC wasn't there. She was crying. What didn't rain? Fee knuckle. Definitely sounds like something you shouldn't Google.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it's just that flick. When you
I
flick
know I actually kill flies that way. If they're sitting there and you flick them really hard. They'll hit the wall and be dead.
If I pheenockle my wife, did you just pheenockle me?
You better stop saying that.
Hey, it's just a flick of the finger. Yo, Vic, I forgot about all that song Wait by the Jay Giles Band. Yeah, amazing harp player. They were great. CNN hated to be there.
Oh, they did. You could tell too, man. That reporter, they actually showed memes of her after that, of her just with that look on her face, that scowl.
People came. All right, let's say hi. Who's this? Who's saying hi to her?
Oh, we got.
Oh, hi, Steve. How are you, baby?
Hey, Vic. How are you, bud?
Good, man. What's up?
Hey, so we hear this thing about, the greatest generation being the World War II generation, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue that's possibly true, but there's another generation that I'm going to say don't get the recognition of or whatever as much as, I guess. It's a generation that fought the war on terror.
Yeah.
And these young men and women, they actually signed up because they wanted to sign up. They didn't sign up because there was a draft.
Right.
So, I mean, the millennial generation gets a lot of crap, and sometimes it's deservingly so. I'll be a person to say that and admit it, because I'll give crap just along with the best of them. But we have to remember these young men and women, they went out there and they served, and they did so because they chose to do it. They wanted to do it.
God bless them. Steve, God bless you.
Hey, while you're talking about going through the neighborhoods, go through Ellisville.
Yeah.
I'll have over 1,000 flags up in my yard. I do it every single year.
I will check out. I'll find any house that's got 1,000 flags that it must be Steve's, and I'll beep for you. Okay.
That's right, buddy.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Boy, Jesse Rea, I'm heartbroken about this.
I know.
Jesse worked at the pageant, and he was so good to us.
He was the integral part of
that.
If
I called Jesse, I wanted to go to something. He said, "No problem, you
go."
Come.
Yep.
All right, we'll do some news, and then we're back on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk.
2-2 delivery is hit hard down the left field line, towards the line. Get up! It's a big fly.
May the force be with the Cardinals as they take on the Rockies, because Star Wars Night returns to the ballpark on Thursday, June 6th, with the purchase of a special theme ticket. Fans will take home an exclusive Star Wars-themed Jordan Skywalker bobblehead. Characters will also be at the ballpark for photo ops. That's June 6th, Star Wars Night. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/theme.
Don't miss the 7th Annual Pride Night, presented by Mission Taco Joy at Busch Stadium on Friday, June 7th. Join LGBTQIA+ friends, family, and allies to watch the Cardinals take on the Rockies. With the purchase of a theme ticket, fans will receive a Cardinals Pride pack, including a belt bag, headband, and pin. A portion of each ticket sold will be donated to Team St. Louis. Get your Pride Night tickets today at cardinals.com/theme. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL.
All your hard-earned tax dollars and mine are going to fund illegal aliens who come across the border penniless, jobless, skillless, and they're given a cell phone, an identity, and a cash stipend every month.
Mark McCloskey on fire.
That beats your Social Security income if you should have the good nature to work your ass off your whole life and retire.
Mark McCloskey on fire. Sundays at 5 on News Talk STL. Brought to you in part by Modern Weapon Systems in Fenton.
The Herzog Foundation is the vision of its founder, Stanley Herzog, and it exists to promote quality Christ-centered K-12 education nationwide.
Hi, this is Chris Stigall with the Herzog Foundation. We offer a wide variety of resources relevant to today's families, including a free online publication called The Lion. The lion is one of God's most majestic creatures, symbolizing strength and courage. Named for its attributes, the Lion publication carries articles covering a wide range of topics facing American families and culture, especially related to the education of children. The Lion can be found online at readlion.com. That's READ lion.com.
Sign up for The Lion at readlion.com and find dozens of must-read articles published every day. Visit readlion.com and subscribe for the weekly and daily digests so you never miss an article. Readlion.com. That's readlion.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNVS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 101.9, 94.1, and always streaming at NewsTalkSTL.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason.
Israel insisting it will do whatever it takes to safeguard its citizens. This after the UN's top court ordered the Jewish state to halt military operations in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. It is a non-binding order which Israel is expected to ignore and which the International Court of Justice cannot enforce. House Speaker Johnson says it's time for Senate Majority Leader Schumer to join his invitation to Israel's prime minister to address a joint session of Congress.
Schumer, the highest-ranking Jewish official in U.S. history, ruffled feathers back in March when he called for new elections in Israel to replace Benjamin Netanyahu for his handling of the war in Gaza. At the time, he accused Netanyahu of losing his way. Now, Speaker Johnson says he told Schumer this week he needed to, quote, sign the joint letter, and if not, we're going to proceed and invite Netanyahu just to the House, and I'll send individual invitations to senators. Bob Agnew reporting.
If you think the heart of deep blue New York City isn't MAGA country, you might want to reconsider. Cries of "We Love Trump" and USA filling the air at yesterday's massive Trump rally in the South Bronx.
Who said we're not going to win New York? We're going to win New York someday.
An estimated 25,000 people turned out. The gathering rankled some Democrats. They insist Mr. Trump has no place in New York City, but many at the rally, including some who claim to have traditionally voted Democrat, say otherwise. A small gathering of anti-Trump protesters did show up. Shots rang out last evening, a high school graduation ceremony in Oakland, California, and 2 people were wounded. On Wall Street this morning, stocks are higher so far. The Dow is up 54 points, the Nasdaq ahead 153 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, thank you for gutter inspection. And what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/gold to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/gold and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10%.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
After a dry morning rush, we'll be on guard for a couple of rounds of thunderstorms today, some of which could be severe with hail and strong winds. The chances spike late this morning into the midday and again late this afternoon into the evening. My forecast high around 85. Rain chances ramp down quickly around bedtime tonight, down to 62 for the low. Saturday looks great. Mostly sunny, lower humidity, dry, 83 in the afternoon. But Sunday, boy, the storms return. And once again, severe weather is possible. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me? Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right. Welcome home to 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. I'm Vic Porcelli. That is Ken Williams over there. And our second hour, Susie Moore kicks us off. She's on deck. She's got the donut on the bat, doing some swinging. 10:25, we're going to do Trump in the Bronx. That's going to be the main theme of that break. We may talk about it actually a little bit with Susie too. But the South Bronx is not a place you would think would be tens of thousands of people showing up at a rally for Donald Trump, right? So this is what the media has told us, though, for all these years, right? They hate Trump in the Bronx.
They hate him. But you're from the region, okay? You know that area.
Yeah.
And when we talked, I guess the day before the rally, we said, hey, you know what? It'd be great if 2,500 people showed up.
Right.
I mean, that's what you said.
Yeah.
And I believe you because you're from that region.
Because of what we've been told by the left, that, nobody in New York likes Donald Trump, even though he's from New York. That's part of what I don't understand. So we'll hear some people that were there. We'll hear from Trump at 10:25 and the audio at 10:41 right now. Let's do what we do every Friday at this time.
Oh, Susie Q, baby, I love you. Susie Q.
I'm the boss. How about that?
And I should have listened to Susie more from the beginning. Good morning, Smoothie Q. How are you?
Good morning, Vic. I'm good. How are you?
All right. I have some questions about the Trump trial. I heard somebody say, oh, you know who it was? Not somebody. It was Jarrett, whatever her first name is.
Yeah, Valerie?
No, her daughter.
Oh,
on NBC.
Jarrett.
Yeah, Jarrett.
I don't.
She's now the new legal correspondent for NBC. No nepotism at all. But she said that there was something that could happen, that it wouldn't require a unanimous vote by the jury. Have you ever heard of anything like that in your many, many years of being an attorney?
No, I would have to hear what she had to say. I mean, to hang the jury, for him to be let go, basically, would not. They don't have to. In other words, they don't have to acquit him. They can just not agree unanimously to convict him, and then that's a hung jury.
Yeah,
but
that law.
I don't know what else.
That law has been in effect for 100 years, or more than 100 years. But she was saying that because everybody could have a different opinion, you might not need a unanimous. I don't know if she was just. I don't know what she was trying to say,
but she said it.
She did say it.
In a civil jury, you don't need a unanimous verdict, but in a criminal trial, you do.
I don't understand.
Let's put it this way, Susie, and because I don't know, and because I am not a lawyer, when I'm watching the Today Show, I saw her talk, and she actually said something that gave me the impression that, you've heard about this whole thing. And if one person votes against Trump or votes for Trump, then it's a hung jury. Well, that doesn't hold water in this case, and that's kind of the way she said it. Is that true?
No, you know what? I'm just gonna venture a guess here.
Yeah.
Maybe what she was saying is, okay, if there's a hung jury, he's not convicted, but don't let them fool you that that's a victory for him, because it's really not. So in other words, she's trying to spin it in the court of public opinion, not what it would mean legally.
That's not why she's there.
Yeah.
Right? She's there to tell us what happened. Okay. How long are they going to deliberate? When do they come back? And by the way, have you ever seen a trial where everything's done and then, okay, let's take a week off so the jury can go be swayed by their friends and families to vote against Trump?
I have not. I have never seen that. And I want to take issue with one thing you said, Vic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You said that's not why she's there. Well, that may not be why she theoretically should be there.
Right.
I would say spin is why she's there.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm talking about NBC News. What am I thinking about?
Hey, can you go back to that one point you just made?
You're being an idealist.
Which one?
I'm sorry, Susie, but that point you just made about going back to homes and families.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to look at
I've never seen.
Right? You're not supposed to look at TV. You're not supposed to talk to anybody about it. Really? In a week, nobody's going, hey, you're on the jury, right? You're going to convict Trump, aren't you?
Right. It's kind of wild enough that they didn't sequester them to begin with. Although, I recognize that, because even though this is really big deal because it involves Donald Trump and a former president, it's, the crime itself is not a big deal, and it's not like a capital murder case, that sort of thing. But the fact that they weren't sequestered is kind of strange enough. But the fact that they let them go for a week over a holiday weekend with this sort of, hope and a prayer that they're not going to be influenced by news reports or family members or friends, I've never seen that done.
And you brought up a great point in your Friday morning minute, that said, the Bronx may not be Manhattan, but I guarantee the jurors who've been put on ice all week were aware of the rally. So that's actually maybe a good thing for Trump, that these jurors were like, wow, look at all these people in the Bronx coming out for Trump. Maybe he is a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that his purpose behind doing that had many purposes. But I think you could say that on some level, there may have been the idea that, this is indirectly speaking to the jurors since they're out there in the wind, compliments of the court, letting them know that, he's not hated by everybody. And, they aren't compelled to find him guilty just because the whole world hates him, because the whole world doesn't hate him.
You know what I noticed? One of the craziest things, we just talked about the Today Show, and we talk about them often because they always have some incorrect input to add to the conversation, right? Well, this morning, not a word, because, they had this crazy, crazy rally right next door to them, and they didn't say a word about it all morning. Isn't that interesting?
It really is.
Interesting indeed.
I said to my wife, I said, I thought Trump did a rally yesterday in the Bronx. I guess he didn't, because if that's all you watch is NBC, you had no idea there even was a rally in the Bronx. I mean, I'm talking about people who live in Idaho and, Montana and all those states that have to rely on, well, they don't have to rely, but if they do rely on NBC News, then they're not getting all the news. All right.
I bet people in Idaho and Montana aren't relying on NBC.
Right. Probably not. Good point.
First of all, they probably aren't particularly attuned to it anyway from a viewpoint standpoint. And secondly, they're probably busy working.
And they're probably out rustling cattle or whatever they do. What do you do with the cattle?
Exactly.
Do you rustle them?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about, because, when things happen with Donald Trump, the world forgets about everything else. And I don't want people to forget about Hunter Biden and his tax trial. And apparently there was a postponement, which took me completely by surprise when you wrote this story the other day. Why did that happen? And what's going to be the result of that?
So why that happened, reading between the lines, is so he's set to go to trial on June 3rd in Delaware for the gun charges. And then the tax trial was then set for June 20th, which I'm pretty sure the gun charge case was set first. When the second one was set and they were that close together, I did notice that. And I mean, basically a little over 2 weeks between two federal criminal trials, that's cutting it close no matter what.
Yeah.
So Hunter's legal team had requested a continuance of the tax trial, and I think what the judge did was basically, in deference to his colleague over on the East Coast who's conducting the trial on June 3rd, said, yeah, that is kind of close. So he gave him a short continuance to beginning of September. I don't think that's crazy weird in this particular case. I don't think that's a signal that this judge is going to, somehow let Hunter off the hook. He denied their motions to dismiss.
Yeah.
So I think this is just a judge being practical.
Okay. I mean, you never know anymore, with judges. I mean, who would have thought that a judge would behave the way this Juan Marchand, or whatever his name is, has been behaving? I mean, I think it's despicable.
No, I mean, judges are people too, and there are plenty of bad apples, just like there are in any profession. But particularly and he's not on the federal level, obviously. When you get to the federal level, there's a little bit higher of an expectation in terms of behavior, just because they had to go through a heavier vetting process. But even federal judges aren't.
Susie, I read something that the this thing against Trump is a misdemeanor, and it was tagged with a federal felony, and apparently Smith has no authority to attach this to a federal complaint or whatever you call it. I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but are you familiar with what's going on there, and why is it happening?
Okay, so you're talking about the New York trial, the one that's going on right now.
Yes.
Which is not Jack Smith.
Okay,
that's
so
Alvin
that's
Bragg.
I'm
sorry, Alvin Bragg. Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm confused. There's so many.
Right. It is hard to keep them straight. He doesn't have federal authority. What they're doing in order to make a misdemeanor into a felony is saying, okay, this misdemeanor that you did was done in furtherance of another crime or trying to cover up another crime. So that other crime could be a federal crime, it could be a state crime, it could be whatever. The point of it is that there's this other crime out there that they're saying he either committed or was trying to cover up or was intending to commit by doing the misdemeanor. It's tortured logic. I don't blame anybody who listens to what I just said and goes, what the hell? But that's what, I mean, they really, 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 really stretched to try and turn this into a felony.
All right, just a little clarification here. Thank goodness our listeners are on it. 101 straight up says, hey, Vic, you round cattle up unless you're stealing them. That's when you rustle them. So.
Well, I was just thinking that they could be, they could be doing a little bit of both. You never know.
The
Either
good-
way, they're not
the-
watching the
You
tape.
round them
Right.
up.
The
Vic.
good guys round up the cattle. The bad guys rustle the
Rustle
cattle.
them.
So, but the bad
There you
guys
go.
are up working doing that,
Yeah,
rustling the cattle,
right,
and so
right.
they can't watch the Today Show.
101, he's trying to validate it.
That's legit. That's a good point.
All right. So, I also want to talk about. I should never click away from what I'm looking at here.
You really shouldn't.
Hey, you shut up, okay? I don't need your help on this. But the Supreme Court and their decisions, so many things happen that take our focus away from other things that are going on that aren't, front page every day. But how long do we have until the Supreme Court calls it quits until the next session and the decisions they're going to make?
Their decision, their term, well, technically the term runs from October to October, but they basically are done handing down decisions at the end of June. So they handed down 3 more yesterday. So they're down to 35 left to go between now and the end of June. That's
Wow.
a lot of decisions. We're going to probably start seeing more than one day a week in the next, I would say after Memorial Day, we'll start seeing them, maybe having 2 decision days a week. And so they're going to start cranking them out. And some of them are going to be like, okay, it's some weird arbitration provision, whatever. But some of them are going to be big ones.
Do they do the the drama thing and wait for the immunity decision for last?
I don't. Yes and no. I don't think that primarily it's done for drama from the Supreme Court's perspective. I think primarily it's done with the more difficult decisions, the ones that they probably are going to have a close vote on and that are going to be hard to write and kind of determine decisively. They're going to be longer opinions. They're going to be more involved. So those generally wait to the end just because they are more complex to write.
It's like it's the main event,
Yeah.
Everything's
Definitely.
So can we talk a little bit about the Samuel Alito flags outside his house? What's the one with the white one with the green?
Appeal to the heaven. Appeal to heaven.
Appeal to heaven is somehow racist or something. Do you know anything?
No, yeah, it's now being characterized as being in sympathetic to J6, to the people that were at J6.
But what's
the
the
insurrection?
Right. What's it really mean?
What is it? I mean, because what they're trying to do, this is a tactic of the left. Reshape words, reshape names, and they're taking the appeal of the heaven flag and they're making it a J6 flag. And they're also taking the United States flag in distress upside down and they're making it a J6 flag. That's bull. I mean, that is junk.
Don't you cuss on this
Don't
radio.
cuss on this on radio.
Thanks, Susie, for reminding me.
So what do you think about the whole thing?
So, okay, I've seen the Appeal to Heaven flag before. I never knew it was called the Appeal to Heaven.
I didn't either. Ken taught me that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to 1775. It's an ancient, just like the American flag is. So to, basically let me back up.
Yes, take your time.
Getting ahead of myself here. Okay. To say that because, there were people at January 6th that had the American flag. So by the logic of the left that's being thrown out there right now, anybody who's flying an American flag in front of their house right now is an insurrectionist.
Me.
That's how ridiculous they're being. A Supreme Court justice, it does have to make sure that they're not, making public statements or comments on cases before them, that sort of. They do have to kind of be cognizant of that, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be allowed to fly a flag that's basically a symbol that's been used in America for hundreds of years. The left is basically, all they're trying to do is discredit Alito. They're trying to discredit Thomas and discredit Alito because they know there are going to be decisions handed down in the next 6 weeks that they don't like and that they aren't going to want to abide by. So they're doing everything that they can to delegitimize the court's decision so that they can turn around and say, well, this decision doesn't really count because it was by these icky insurrectionist justices.
So, okay, so the American flag upside down story, they're trying to discredit so much so that American flag upside down story actually happened in 2021, right? That's when the flag upside down. And they waited all this time till now to bring it up. I never heard about this story about the flag outside of his house until 2 weeks ago. So they wait until decisions are going to come down from the Supreme Court about maybe the J6ers and stuff. Oh, no, we got to discredit him.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because keep in mind, there have been three 3 Supreme Court terms since then. So, and obviously Alito was the author of Dobbs. So they could have brought it up then. They're bringing it up now because they know that there's going to be 2 decisions directly and indirectly, at least, that have to do with J6. And they want to be able to discredit them because they already have an idea that they're not going to like what the court says.
But Susie, you mentioned something very interesting, and I want to follow up with it. Joe Biden got the ruling that he was not allowed to give money back to students for student loans, right? By the Supreme Court. They ruled this, and he didn't follow it. So I guess my question is, what do they care what the Supreme Court says at this point?
They don't pay attention to the rulings anyway.
No, that's a very good point.
Right.
You know, I think that there are probably arguments that the Biden administration would make that they're, you know, well, the Supreme Court said we couldn't do X, so we're doing X light. You know, they're trying to weasel around the rulings. But you're right. I mean, at this point, since the progressive left has basically said the court doesn't have legitimacy anyway, what the heck do they care?
They're not allowed to say that. I'm sorry.
No.
They're not allowed to say that the Supreme Court is not legitimate because the decision didn't go their way. You know, if Dobbs was never overturned, if every decision was going to the left, like, oh, this is the greatest. You have respect for Ruth Bader Ginsburg and all that stuff, you know?
Oh, 100% agree. But then, to be fair, people on the right don't get to turn around and say this court is not legitimate when they rule, for instance, upholding Obamacare.
We had to, though. But we took their decisions and abided by it. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but Vic, there were people on the right who were saying this court isn't legitimate. What you were just saying, the left will say.
But we still abided by it.
But we still abided by the ruling.
I agree with you.
Like what Ken said was Biden went ahead and did the college loan thing even after the Supreme Court ruled about it. I don't think we went that far, did we? To completely just disregard?
He even said that he did. He was like, yeah, I'm doing it anyway.
Right. I agree with you. I agree with you there. I'm saying from when you're talking about people's rhetoric about the Supreme Court, you know, if you're going to say that they're legitimate and we have to follow their rulings, you have to recognize that there are going to be times when their rulings are ones that you really don't like and you wish weren't legitimate.
Exactly. If one thing we can agree on, they're all sons of bitches.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, when are you going to be? I heard you yesterday with Chris. I had no idea that was happening. When are we going to hear your voice on the air here?
Well, I was there Wednesday and Thursday with Chris.
Okay, don't make me feel worse about it.
I got to fill in then. There's a chance I might be filling in for Larry right around 4th of July.
Yeah, Larry mentioned
I don't have any other gigs lined up between now and then except for my regular guest stints with you.
Call your agent. Get him going.
It's Friday.
Susie Q on Twitter, Deputy Managing Editor at redstate.com. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, okay?
Thanks, guys. You too.
See you, Susie.
You know what? Your point there. If the Supreme Court rules something, if you like it or not, if a referee makes a bad call in the World Series, you got to live with it.
I've grown up thinking, okay, the Supreme Court, they're the other branch of the government. They have an equal, a balanced decision along with the executive and legislative branch. That's what I always thought it was, Vic, but it's apparently not now.
And there are Supreme Court decisions which haven't gone our way, but like you said, at least we abide by it. I'm leaving you. I don't have to. You do the show.
No, bull.
Oh, okay. All right. We're going to hear what happened in the South Bronx yesterday. Apparently, it was a little bit of a Trump party. We'll hear about that. We'll avoid audio clips too. It's a Friday on 101.9 94.1 News Talk STL, number 1 for live and local conservative talk.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Read the poll, Jack. So thank you all. God bless you all. Let's go lick the world. Let's get it done.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
You know, it makes me very happy and proud when people publicly say that, you know, those people at Connor Roofing, not only did they do a great job with our roof and gave us an honest estimate, but they got in touch with us and said, how did we do? Their record for customer service. I always say customer service isn't even a strong enough term when you're talking about Connor Roofing. They want to actually have a relationship with you and find out how they did. If you didn't like what they do, we'll come over and talk about it. It's the only, and let me tell you, they're not Goober, okay? When Goober comes to the door, Goober calls you on the phone, say, listen, Goober, and call him Goober, by the way. Ken did. It was great.
And it worked.
It worked.
They hung up on me.
They call, is this Goober? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Is this Goober on the phone? They'll hang up right away. And that's when you go to ConnorRoofing.com to get what you really, really need, especially with storms coming. I mean, tomorrow and not tomorrow, Sunday and maybe even Monday. Oh, tonight.
Yeah.
Storms. So anything could happen. So keep this website on your refrigerator. CONNER roofing.com.
Hey, Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros. When Christine and I bought our new house, we knew the gutters were an issue. And after meeting the Gutter Pros team, we knew that they were right for us. Gutter Pros is your all-in-one gutter service team that offers a variety of affordable solutions, and they even offer free estimates. So there's no cost to you to find out if they are right for your home, just like they were for ours. If you're having a problem with your gutters, contact the Gutter Pros now, because with Gutter Pros, water goes where they tell it to. Call them at 314-656-7195 or visit gutterpros.com.
News, analysis, opinion.
We respect your passion and your opinion.
If it suggests a long-term trend, it's a real problem for Democrats broadly.
101.9 and 94.1.
Number one for conservative talk.
News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
But I feel badly also about the fistula's that are taking place in Eastern Congo.
On News Talk STL.
I'm from New York, and this is. I always tell myself, I went to Wildwood on May 11th, and I said, Bronx? Oh yeah, I'm going.
That's awesome. And what does it mean to you that he showed up in a blue state, New York?
I feel like he has guts. He's a New Yorker. I don't live too far from where he grew up. So I'm like, I have to go. I have to go show up for Donald Trump. He's in New York. Like, he has the guts.
Why we're here today, support our president, Donald J. Trump. He's done for the Jewish communities, supporting of Israel, moved their embassy to Jerusalem. Has always backed them. Has never been a time or day or year that he never stopped supporting. It was never a wishy-washy type of thing that we've seen now with the current illegitimate president. We're here just to give the support.
I'm a Bronx resident, and actually, I was a Democrat, but actually, I'm supporting Trump.
Boy, that was a pretty diverse crowd, wasn't it?
Very, very.
Even the clips you just played. Girl from Queens, obviously, because she said she grew up near where Trump grew up.
Right.
That guy did not sound like he grew up in the Bronx, the guy in the middle there.
No.
And we're going to vote for Donald Trump. He's a great president. And then the last guy sounded like somebody who probably did grow up in the Bronx. So that wasn't the first person I heard to say, you know what? I give him credit for coming here.
Yeah.
I give him credit for coming into a state that has voted for everything that he's against, right? Year after year after year. Voted in AOC, for God's sakes. And now, maybe down ballot, maybe AOC gets bumped. Wouldn't that be great?
And AOC is just getting hammered on social media. She was the one who said, don't you dare do a rally in my town because they're my people and they're going to completely reject you.
Oopsie daisy. They're AOC.
I know.
That's a big oopsie daisy. You know, she has gotten so much attention. Ken, do you remember we did a piece on, you and I, on Marjorie Taylor Greene when she was on 60 Minutes with Leslie Stahl, right? And Leslie Stahl started the whole thing by saying, it's rare that a U.S. representative will be so widely known, only in their second term. And I'm like, oh, she's going to talk about AOC, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, it was Marjorie Taylor Greene. AOC has gotten so much attention. Why? I don't know. Because when somebody is a representative at a hearing and goes, don't even play. Oh, baby girl.
Baby girl, baby girl.
What the hell? She reverts to that slang, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's not, I hope she gets bumped. I swear to God. Now, I don't know when she's up for re-election. Do you?
I think it's coming soon. I think there's someone actually.
This November?
I think there's someone actually building their campaign against her. And Vic, you know what? If she was intelligent, if she was one of those people that is against, conservatives, but she's helping out the community, go get them. I don't like you still, but hey, you're doing something.
No.
She's done nothing for that area.
And she did opposite, negative. The Amazon place, right? Oh no, we don't want Amazon. We don't want a bunch of thousands of jobs here for New Yorkers.
No.
If she gets bounced, and if Cory Bush gets bounced, oh my God, we're having a party. We're having a public bounce to Democrat party.
Right.
Mike, good morning, baby. How you doing?
You're my favorite guy on the radio.
Oh, thank you, Mike. You're my favorite poker player who was a firefighter and listens to the show.
Wish I had enough money to play anymore because I've lost it all at the table. That being said, I'm going to give you a first. No one knows of this, okay?
Yep.
There was an archaeological dig in Philadelphia, and they discovered the original text that Jefferson wrote, and then it tells what he really said. When he said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that part of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
By our creator?
Yes, behind him, but behind that, it said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, and we know that when a Democrat talks, he's lying.
Did he also thank his friend Joe Biden?
Yeah. I think Joe was in 4th grade when that was said.
Yeah, he was a little young. I think he was
young,
just
man.
a hair.
All right, Mike. Sorry, you're not playing anymore. I don't play anymore just because I suck, not because of any other reason.
Right. And look, I just want some prayers for my immediate family. We have some issues down in Memphis, and just I'd rather not say what those are, but it's really critical. So
Got it, Mike.
prayers for my family.
A lot of prayers going out today for sure.
Yeah.
We have
Morning, St. Louis.
Thanks, Mike. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Listen, thank you very much, and you guys have a wonderful day and a good holiday.
All right.
And a thoughtful weekend, yeah.
And can you do me a favor, everybody? Can you not say Happy Memorial Day?
Yeah, please don't.
God, you got something to say there, old man?
It's Friday.
Yes, since you invited me, I want to let you know on my program day, I just got it locked down. As we were talking, and when I was with you guys earlier, the family of one of our Missouri State representatives, his daughter and son were killed in Haiti.
Ben Baker, yeah.
As missionaries. Central Presbyterian Church, my church, has been involved in missionaries for 40 years in Haiti and Jamaica and those areas and so forth. The head of those missions program, Randy Mayfield, has since retired, but still very active in the programs. I'm going to have him on in my first hour today at 6 o'clock, talking about the dangers these face and how they have pulled out many missionaries months ago from Haiti for this very concern, because it's just a lawless area right now. But that'll be on, Randy Mayfield will be on in the first hour
6
today
p.m.
of Larry Connor's USA. So I just wanted to share that because it's a compelling, and again, our prayers for those families.
Unbelievable. All right, thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank you,
it's Missouri State Representative Ben Baker, whose daughter and son-in-law killed in Haiti, out there on a missionary,
helping people. Helping people.
It's so bad. Haiti is so bad. And Dominican Republic's fine, right across the island there, right across Hispaniola. They're churning out shortstops, and Haiti's got nothing but trouble every single year.
And I really don't want to politicize it, but in the state of the way things are right now in the world, not just in the United States, based around the policies from this administration, and it's not just Joe Biden, it's Obama. He's behind, and this is my opinion, but I believe this. Barack Obama has had the majority, the dominant input in anything going on right now. In this, I'm saying to the point, if you look at Joe Biden right now on camera, that man is not making decisions. I don't care what anybody tries to tell you.
How could he possibly be? And, you mentioned this earlier, too, when we were talking about the terrible thing that happened to Ben Baker's family. But you also said the other people who are responsible. It's Barack Obama, and it's also, let's not forget, Hillary Clinton, who with her Clinton, bang that. The Clinton Foundation debacle.
They basically destroyed Haiti. I mean, they really did. They did everything that they said with the Clinton Foundation they were going to do in Haiti. They were supposed to make it state of the art, brand new. Give your hundreds of millions of dollars to us, which they did, and we'll take care of it. And they didn't help these people.
All right. Can we hear some of Donald Trump from yesterday? Can we start with number 9?
Yeah.
And 25,000 people. And that's not, I was waiting for somebody, by the way, to say, oh, it wasn't 25,000 people. The crowd at the, remember people saying about, he was talking about the crowd at his inauguration,
Right.
Boy, that was a policy decision, wasn't it? That started the whole thing. We should have really been more awake and aware.
We are now, though.
We are now. So this was Donald Trump yesterday in the South Bronx.
Early Sunday morning, a 12-year-old girl showed up at a stranger's door in the town of Oakfield. She asked him for help, leading to a call for law enforcement.
When deputies arrived,
I have the Vic Porcelli clip sheet here for 524, and number 9 says Biden migrant crime, and illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Skip that, Ken. Let's go right to number 3. Donald Trump. Yeah, sorry, that was so my bad. Donald Trump in the South Bronx.
You can say it, and you can say it a million times, and you can emblazon it. It's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. You are going to save our country. We're going to get out and vote like never before. We're going to make it too big to rig. Our vote is going to be too big to rig. So one thing they can't guard against, working together, there is nothing we cannot do and no height we cannot achieve. Together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America great again. Thank you, Bronx. Thank you, New York. We love you. Thank you. God bless everybody. God bless you. God bless you.
Donald Trump in the South Bronx, or the South Bronx, as they say it.
Right.
Speaking of 25,000 people, what's next? Where's the next speech? Where's the next event going to be? I can't wait. But we'll find out, and when we do, we'll let you know. Donald Trump. You know how I like to say it? Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump. Yep. Hold on, because he's coming.
Remember, they're coming after me because I'm standing up for you.
Yep. Donald Trump. Hashtag 45 and 47. We started saying that hashtag 45 and 47, and then everybody started doing it,
Yeah, it's all right.
And now,
love it.
Now I'm waiting for people to steal our Donald John Grover Cleveland Trump.
Steal it and spread it around.
It was a good day yesterday for the red. All right, wow, are we there already? Holy
we're
cow.
there.
The wheel of audio clips next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number 1 for live and local conservative talk.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
From Charlotte. Another line going from in Florida down to Tampa exponentially.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Right, I love good people. I love good-hearted people. I love talking about good-hearted people. And when it's somebody who has a business in this town and we can talk about them and we trust them, then it makes me feel even better. I mean, my heart just swells. And Jen Wallner is one of those people, okay? She has organizations that she's involved in, the Angels Arms Foundation. She was a foster kid growing up. Did you know that Jen Wallner was a foster kid in a terrible situation, taken out of that, put into a worse situation? And look what she's become, okay? But she understands and she has the empathy for these kind of situations. So those are the kind of people I love to talk about, people with good hearts. Oh, and by the way, yeah, that's right, great at what they do. The Wallner Home Selling Team, Rodney and Jen Wallner, they are such a great team that they sell 15 more times. Can I start that sentence again? 15 times more homes per year than your typical realtor, okay? Lots of approved home buyers ready to roll, and they're a great husband and wife team, and they get you exactly what you're looking for. So when you're ready to sell that house, which could be right now in Missouri or Illinois, your first call should be to the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway, Rodney and Jen Wallner. Call them at 314-810-SOLD, 314-810-SOLD.
Danny Define here, host of the all-new show, The Next Gen, with me, Danny Define. We're going to cover all the hard-hitting topics on this show, from national headlines to things happening right here in St. Louis.
Next Gen with Danny Define.
Join me every Sunday at 10 p.m. right here on News Talk STL.
From home improvement to replacement, do-it-yourself electrical projects can be shocking. That's where Grasser Electric can help. They've been lighting up St. Louis for years. From ceiling fans and dimmer switches to repair or replacing your electric. No job is too big or too small for your home or business. Grasser Electric will even install emergency backup generators. So call Grasser Electric today before the sparks start to fly. 636-441-5200 or go to grasserelectric.com.
Fox News commentary.
Nikki Haley has finally swallowed her pride and announced who she will vote for. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
Donald Trump Jr. here. Since January of 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back, but you can stop your losses by diversifying into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold now.
Message and data rates may apply.
I don't know about y'all, but I sure have enjoyed not hearing from Nikki Haley over the last few months. But if we do have to listen to her, I'll tolerate it if it comes in the form of her recent comments about Donald Trump. You know, it sure took a while, but Nikki Haley has finally and officially stated she will vote for Donald Trump in November. Though her endorsement was a little lukewarm and she did take a jab at the former president, she was big enough to admit Biden's policies are a catastrophe. Yeah, no duh, Nikki. But in the scheme of things, I'm not sure her saying she will vote for Trump will move the needle much. I think her voters either always plan to vote for Donald Trump in the end, or they happen to be Democrats who just don't like Joe Biden. But either way, it is nice to see she finally swallowed her pride and admitted she will vote for Donald Trump. But now I ask that we go back to hearing nothing out of her. Oh, please, pretty please. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
The Wheel of Audio Clips, brought to you by Senior Memorial. Give Benjamin Schaefer a call at 314-866-8886 or visit memorialplans.com. Senior Memorial Heritage Protection. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Forget about it.
On Newstalk STL.
All right, welcome to it. 1019-94.1 News Talk STL. I'm Vic Porcelli. That is Ken Williams over there. Let's talk to Andre. Andre, good Friday morning to you. Thank you for serving.
My pleasure. I just wanted to make a quick comment about something we talked about yesterday, the whole Trump Mar-a-Lago raid stuff. It is my opinion, particularly with the stuff that's come out, that they were looking to create a situation where there was violence at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, you're right.
Like they were looking for that headline, you know, like standoff at Mar-a-Lago, whatever. Just everything I think points to that.
You know what? I don't know. Again, I'll say I'm not politically connected, okay? I'm just a big mouth Italian with a lot to say. But I said when I saw an article that said that the raid itself was extraordinary, but the order for deadly force was not, I said, well, wait. If it's so extraordinary, then the op order has to be extraordinary too, and that means take the deadly force part out.
Right, and you're going into an area that is already secured by an agency of the United States government.
Right, who are armed.
Why do you need to go in there, you know, armed to the teeth to retrieve some documents from an agency that is part of the United States government? It makes no sense to me.
And added point to this is that they actually intentionally did not wear their colors and going in. They were wearing street clothes going in.
Right, which is why I think they were looking to create this.
It was a trap. It was a trap. Andre, let me ask you a question. If you're at your home and some guy in a polo shirt starts breaking into your house, what are you going to do?
Right, exactly.
You're going to shoot him, right?
Exactly. And like there's been like no-knock raids and stuff like that where officers get shot, which is awful. But when you're not busting someone's door down at 3 o'clock in the morning and they respond with appropriate level of violence, then you try to charge them with manslaughter or murder or something like that. It's like you put yourself into that situation.
And then if the
And
president,
I think this is a very similar thing.
and if Donald Trump gets killed in the crossfire, oops, collateral damage, oopsie daisy,
Right.
right? It's a big oopsie daisy.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
And then one last thing, I will be remembering this weekend my good friend Vipot Lupitawong, Lance Corporal Vipot Lupitawong. He didn't die in the line of duty, but he died on leave while he was still in. Great friend, great Marine, and I'll be raising a beer to him this weekend.
Right on. I will as well.
We will too.
Sorry to hear. Andre, thank you so much. Enjoy the weekend and call us on Tuesday.
Will do. Have a good one, Vic.
I like Andre.
Well, yeah.
Very level-headed. He was a Marine, And again, sometimes when something happens, you just have to look at the common sense of it. The Occam's razor part of it. The most likely answer is the right answer. And to have deadly force for a raid on a home that the former president lives, that's not a deadly force situation.
No, it is not.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, good morning. Hey, you no disrespect to Andre, and thank you for your service, but you cannot tie a no-knock raid for a craphead criminal to an unlawful search warrant issued by a scum judge, carried out by a crap president, by a retarded attorney general.
All right.
That's comparing apples to oranges.
I'm not sure he was comparing them. He was just saying things that happened. No knock and police get killed because these weren't police. I don't think he was talking about this incident because this wasn't police. This was federal agents. But I get what you're saying, Dave. I totally get what you're saying. And either way, Andre and you and I and Ken all agree it was a trap. It was a trap.
No, absolutely. And the only thing I hope is when King Donald gets back in, everything they did to him, I hope he does it 1 trillion%. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I hope he does it 1 trillion%.
I hope he pays his fair share. All right, Dave. Listen, baby, have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you
Love
so much.
This show.
Thank
Hey, Kenny, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think me, you, and Larry can have a show on the Vic Porcelli Show without Vic? You think that's possible?
What
Can you look it up?
Get out of here now. Go on.
I love you, brother.
Thank you. There's the door. Get
Have a
out
good
of
weekend,
here.
man.
That's Dave. All right, let's go. Oh, my God.
Wheel of Audio Clips!
It's America's favorite game show, the Wheel of Audio Clips. Here's the host of Wheel of Audio Clips, Vic Porcelli.
Thank you, Jim Baldwin. Thank you, everybody. Studio audience. Thank you, ladies, for coming out today. Oh, ladies. Thanks so much.
Straight from the Bronx today.
Can I read a quick thing from the chat box?
Yes,
real quick?
yes.
That's it. Make it too big to rig. Outvote the cheating. We did it in 2016. They cheated more in 2020. Let's make overcome. Well, we have to overcome cheating is what it is.
And actually, President Trump said last night in his speech, he goes, I'm saying this now. He goes, I'm going to say it a lot more. Too big to rig. You all need to get out and vote.
Exactly right. We outvoted the rig in 2016. We got to do it now in 2024. Okay. What we do here is take all this is kind of like a best of the best audio clips of the week kind of a segment, but we don't do things conventionally on this show, which is fun, right?
Yeah, it's
fun. So we take all the audio and each one we put on the big wheel. Ken spins the wheel, and wherever it stops, that's what we play. Kenny, are you ready to give that big shiny wheel a spin?
Let's go.
Give it a shot, baby. Go. Too big to rig. Such a great slogan.
Hashtag too big to rig.
You got to vote. Every vote counts. All right, let's see. Oh, what a surprise. Do you put more Bidens on the wheel than everybody else? Is that what you do?
They're just fun. I don't know. They're fun, man.
All right, Joe Biden.
After I signed the PAC Act into law, I handed the pen that I signed it with as addition to the person most responsible for the legislation.
Is that
after I signed the PAC Act into law? I handed
put
the
that
pen that I signed it with as addition to the person most responsible for the legislation.
I would love to find that YouTube video. It's got to be on YouTube. Find it on YouTube and then hit the closed caption. So you get the closed caption and see what they write. You know, pack a knack a lack a mack a whack and give the dog a bone. And when I signed the wish, that was Ken's.
That's crack-a-lackin'. That's from Madagascar.
Yeah. All hail the New York Giants. Okay. Spin that wheel, Kenny. Do it. Pack-a-knack-a mack-a-lacka.
Crack-a-lackin'.
Paddywhack. Give the dog a bone. Not Commander, though. He'll bite you. Some other dog. Give the other dog a bone. All right. Now you're against me. You're against me. I know you and everybody are against me. It landed on Joe Biden again, and I am done with this crap. Go.
I got more Morehouse men in the White House telling me what to do than I know what to do. You all think I'm kidding, don't you?
Oh, no.
You know I'm not. And it's the best thing that's happened to me.
The best thing in his biography, and we have to make sure whoever's writing his biography, that ghostwriter that got to see all the classified documents,
right.
We got to make sure we tell him that the best thing that ever happened in Joe Biden's life was having more Morehouse men in the White House than he knows what to do, which he didn't even say that right. I got more than I know what to do with, right? You say, I got more coffee here than I know what to do with.
Right.
But he left off the with. Like, he can't do anything right. He can't even screw up right.
No, not Joe.
I can't do it anymore.
No, you can do it.
Can't do it.
No, you can do it.
Okay, spin the wheel. Okay.
All right.
While Ken wasn't looking, I pulled a couple of Biden strips off the wheel. So if we get lucky here, it won't be Biden. My evil plan worked. Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. So here is, ladies and gentlemen, the plan. Okay.
Yeah.
The mainstream Pfizer, what do you call them?
Yeah, the
Pfizer Legacy Media.
Legacy Pfizer Media.
They got in the huddle and they said, okay, what are we going to do? Yeah, that's a good idea. So when they, all right, let's listen to the clip first, and then we'll talk about the plan.
But despite it all, the state of the race remains stagnant. Biden continues to trail former President Trump in several key battleground states, down by double digits in Nevada and Georgia, states he won in 2020.
Despite what?
Despite what? Despite all of our work, despite all of our planning and all of our marketing and all of our propaganda.
Way to leave it nice and vague, right? Despite it all what? All his stammering and lunacy?
Despite the attempts to put Donald Trump in jail, despite all these different activities we're trying to do to get him as a criminal.
We just can't seem to rig an election anymore like we used to.
Do it.
We used to be able to rig an election. So listen, the plan by the Legacy Pfizer Media is to get a Republican on your show, Marco Rubio, Tom Cotton, anybody like that, even Byron Donalds, get them on your show and then ask them this question. Will you accept the results of the 2024 election? Here's the key phrase, everybody. No matter what happens. And they say that part real quick.
Yeah.
Will you accept the results of the 2024 election no matter what happens? And then they hope that they'll say, yeah, I'll accept it, because this is to fight the election denier things that they've said about Donald Trump, right? He's an election denier. Like, Stacey Abrams is not. But if you say yes to that answer, they're going to pull that audio in November and say, well, see, now you said you would accept the results,
right?
No matter what happened. So no matter what happened, let's say, like in case somebody, a limousine pulls up and grabs Donald Trump, puts a bag over his head and throws him in the back seat.
But you need to accept it, though.
We have to accept it.
If they show up with trucks, giant 22 footers with these big boxes of ballots,
you have to
accept it.
You have to accept it. But we have to see through these really veiled attempts by the mainstream media to try to trap Republicans.
Yeah.
And they should have a cutoff date. We're not coming on any of these shows after this date.
Yeah.
August, say, September.
Whatever, yeah.
We're not coming on your shows anymore because you asked us honest questions.
Okay, I don't know about that because I think what they're doing is a great pushback. We played audio this week of them asking that specific question.
Okay, you're right.
And Marco Rubio said, no, I'm not going to accept that.
Right.
Are you crazy?
So then, okay, so not refuse. Have a plan.
Have a plan for sure.
They're going to try to trap you. Just understand, you go on the show, they're going to try to trap you. Be awake and don't let any questions slip by. You have to listen to every word they're saying, or they're going to use it against you in November.
Be vigilant. Be alert.
Be awake.
Be awake.
Be the ball, Danny. That was a Caddyshack joke.
I got it.
Be the ball. You take drugs?
Be the ball.
Every day.
Good for day. Good.
Oh, what's this? A present? Is this a Memorial Day weekend present for Vic? Here he is, Donald John Grover, Cleveland Trump.
In my second term, we will roll back every Biden attack on the Second Amendment. The attacks are fast and furious, starting the minute that Crooked Joe shuffles his way out of the White House.
Shuffles his way out of the White House. You know what? So this week has been up and down, okay? Great rally in the South Bronx, of all places, for Donald Trump to hold a rally. And it was absolutely a success. It was absolutely eye-opening to people like AOC. She really thought nobody would show up because she's AOC.
That's that whole thing you talk about all the time, that egocentric bubble they have.
Yep.
Oh, well, no, these are my people. They're not going to do this to me. This is my world. He's not getting in my world.
Oh, baby girl.
Oh, baby girl.
Don't you play.
And
anything else?
Sorry.
It's okay.
And Donald Trump had the energy of a 30-year-old last night, man. And he feeds off of these rallies, and the bigger they get, the more you're going to hear him yell like he did at the end of that last clip we played, the one clip.
All right, that's all the time we have for the Wheel of Audio Clips. This is Vic Porcelli saying, help control the liberal population. Have your liberal spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody. Where is it? There it is.
There it is.
Okay, so some of the bad things, though, that happened that we got news of today, unfortunately. Missouri State Representative Ben Baker, his daughter and his son-in-law were in Haiti on a missionary mission. Is that what you say? I hate to say missionary mission, but they were out there to help people, and they were killed by some crazy Haitian gang. Ben Baker's daughter and son-in-law killed in Haiti. Just
the Lloyd
terrible.
family. Our hearts go out to the Lloyd family as well.
And for Ken and I, you know, Jesse Rea, you may not know the name, but if you've ever been to the pageant, you've seen Jesse there.
He was the
face, right? He was the face of the pageant.
Of the pageant. Yes.
And he was very good to Ken and I. He always let us in no matter what we wanted to go see.
Man,
Jesse, can you get me in? No problem.
He never even well,
right.
Just
Ken.
come up. Just come up. I'll figure
just
it out.
come see me. We'll let you in. And in a official capacity, he just took care of us when we were out of the road.
He took care of everyone at the pageant.
All right, listen. Thank you so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning. Thanks for having the record player on at night. Listen to us this morning. How many times do you want me to say it?
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
We'll see you Tuesday.
Sooner or later I'll be clocking in again. Someday I'll be able to forget my working days. Life will be grim because the ship is coming in. Everything will go my way and I won't have to see it on the weekend. Here come the weekend. Here come the weekend. My working week's so tough, I think I've had enough until the weekend. Here come the weekend. Here come the weekend.
Feel the sizzling heat of summer savings at Seidenstricker Nobe Partners. Rev up your summer with 0% financing for 84 months with zero down on a John Deere compact tractor. You can purchase a 1 Series tractor for less than $10 a day. It's time to elevate your equipment game with a hard-working, versatile tractor. Don't let this sizzling hot deal on compact tractors slip away. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 7/31/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Tony Colombo here, reminding you to visit my friends at Bluff City Outdoors in Alton before your next trip into the great outdoors. For decades, Bluff City Outdoors has covered all the needs for area fishermen, and they'll always have all the best bait, tackle, and gear for your next trip on the water. And now they cover all your bow hunting needs, including their state-of-the-art indoor archery range and techno hunt system, open every day for you to come shoot, or you can join a league. Follow Bluff City Outdoors on Facebook and learn more at bluffcityoutdoors.com.
Larry Connor's USA.
Hunter Biden and his artwork.
Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently you're afraid of my words. What a coward.
The art gallerist apparently claimed that one of Hunter's financial backers purchased most of his paintings for $875,000. What's this? Oh, it's a scribble, but really it's a man walking into his future and seeing his past at the same time.
You are the epitome of white privilege.
They were laundering money, and he had all of his friends coming forward to help him out.
Larry Connors, weeknights at 6 on News Talk STL. KLGY HD3 Clay, K270BW Belfast, KNVS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Strong storms are moving through the Midwest. A line of activity just west of Chicago, and western Tennessee is seeing severe weather. Meanwhile, it's time of cleanup and emotional recovery in Iowa following this week's deadly tornado. Donna Warder has more.
40 seconds, it's changed my life.
That's how Bill Yount describes Tuesday's tornado in Greenfield, Iowa, that killed 4 of his fellow residents and left at least 35 injured. Yount's home is still standing, even though the roof, he says, raised up and slammed back down as he took shelter in a closet. But his neighbor's home right across the street is gone.
His little kids were there with him. We got him out. And the little kids were good. He had a broken leg.
The National Weather Service says 3 separate powerful tornadoes carved paths across Iowa, totaling some 130 miles. I'm Donna Warder.
Also at townhall.com, Donald Trump rallied voters last night in one of the country's most Democratic counties. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton with that report.
The former president held a campaign rally for the general public in New York's South Bronx as he tries to win more support from Black and Hispanic voters. Trump's campaign believes he can chip away at President Biden's support among minority voters, particularly younger men who are frustrated by their economic situations. New York hasn't voted for a Republican president since Ronald Reagan, but a new Siena College poll shows Joe Biden's lead over Trump in New York has dropped to single digits. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Israel's army says the bodies of 3 more hostages have been recovered overnight from Gaza. The army says they were killed on the day of the Hamas attack, October 7th. On Wall Street, the Dow had 97 points, the NASDAQ adding 174 points. More at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing, help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1155. 800-656-1155. 800-656-1155.
From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
After a dry morning rush, we'll be on guard for a couple of rounds of thunderstorms today, some of which could be severe with hail and strong winds. The chances spike late this morning into the midday and again late this afternoon into the evening. My forecast high around 85. Rain chances ramp down quickly around bedtime tonight, down to 62 for the low. Saturday looks great. Mostly sunny, lower humidity, dry, 83 in the afternoon. But Sunday, boy, the storms return. And once again, severe weather is possible. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD.
The warmer weather is here. Time to swing by Espino's Mexican Bar and Grill at 17409 Chesterfield Airport Road. The Margarita Garden's open, and inside, Chef Espino serving up those authentic Mexican specialties. Espino's your one-stop shop for all your catering needs as well. Espino's MexicanBarGrill.com for everything that Espino's has to offer, from all their cold drinks, fantastic live local music, and those authentic Mexican specialties. 17409 Chesterfield Airport Road, Espino's MexicanBarGrill.com.
Man, what a great party you're throwing here. This wasp nest is great.
Yeah, man, we got about 70 wasps in here.
Too bad we can't fit any more wasps in here. It looks like they're having fun outside, stinging all the kids. Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888. Learn more about our special $67 offer. You can visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
Here's a great way to save money on your prescription medications. If you take Viagra or Cialis, we can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. These pills work for men and women to improve their sexual performance. And now for the price of 2 or 3 pills, you can get nearly 100. There's no need to pay expensive prices for Viagra or Cialis. Call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. We offer 24/7 service and always free delivery and confidential packaging. Change your life for the better and have fun. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
800-631-2030. 800-631-2030. 800-631-2030. That's 800-631-2030.
Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
You know what's going on?
Have a great awakening.
You see through the smoke screen.
It's cool to be woke. News Talk STL. Until it's not. News, analysis, opinion. News, analysis, opinion. News Talk STL.
From the NYPD to the Secret Service to behind the microphone, taking the fight to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Dan Bongino Show. Here he is, Dan Bongino.
Dan, this is President, and I just want to congratulate you and your fans, and you have a lot of them, on 3 years. 3 years on radio, that's great. A lot of people can't say that, but you're going to be there many more years. Your show is fantastic, and you are a wonderful guy. Good luck, and congratulations.
What the? I know, usually I know you're up to something, Jim, because you're like a little shaky before the show and you're never nervous about anything. And once in a while, like I can see he'll be like talking, Judge, at the beginning of the show, we're going to today's 3 years on the air. You know what? That's right. Folks, this was not a setup. I candidly forgot. Today is 3. Was that really Trump or was that Sean? That's Trump, huh? No, man. Gosh, you caught me off guard there. To Jim, thank you for putting it together. Yeah, no, you didn't mess it up at all. But we will play it again. But to President Trump, thank you. That is very nice. I forgot today was 3 years on the air. Play it again. I'd love to hear it. I'm
This
really
is your
shocked.
all-time favorite president, and I just want to congratulate you and your fans, and you have a lot of them, on 3 years. 3 years on radio, that's great. A lot of people can't say that, but you're going to be there many more years. Your show is fantastic, and you are a wonderful guy. Good luck, and congratulations.
Oh, man. Thank you, guys. And to the audience out there, thank you, President Trump. He's a good man, folks. Really good guy. I'm a little surprised. I was actually going to come out on something different, like firing, and now I'm a little frazzled. Thank you. And I just want to say, with the 3-year anniversary on the air, it's always important that we don't make this about ourselves, because it's not. That I'm here because we tragically lost an icon of radio, the great Rush Limbaugh, who I think we could all agree, and it's not being silly about it, anything else. I think we could all agree we would much rather hear Rush. That's just the honest truth, me included. He was the best, and you don't settle for second best. We'd rather hear, but we don't have that option. And that's, I got here through that unfortunate date in our lives when we lost this icon of radio. But I promised you from day one, and now, day year 3, that I'm going to continue to just do what I can do. I'm not trying to be him. So the greatest compliment you can ever pay to me to say, man, that guy's no Rush. Be like, you know what? It's a compliment. You know why? Because you're smart, because I'm not Rush, and you still listen, and I like smart listeners. So, but thank you, President Trump, and it's an honor to be here with you. And as you can tell, I'm a little caught off guard because I was off yesterday. Well, not off. I was doing a podcast, and I couldn't make it back in time. I just want to thank, most importantly as well, you, the listeners, for sticking with me for 3 years, and the program directors out there. I was not familiar with radio. I mean, I was a consumer of it, but I didn't know how it worked. So to all the program directors who keep us on the station and enjoy this show, we appreciate that. And to the listeners, I thank God. I literally thank God. That's not a figurative statement for you every day. We have had tremendous rating success, and that is thanks to you. And I appreciate you guys for putting up with me and my rants. It means a lot. So cool. Thank you so much. 3 years on the air. So I was off yesterday doing a different show. Was working, but was off radio. I got back kind of halfway through, but radio is one of those things where, if you're going to do the show, you do the show. If you're not, you don't just like pop in halfway through. I'm here. And you were left in the more than capable hands of Avita and Jim, who took over yesterday. But I did kind of wish, I'm not messing with you here, folks. I did kind of wish halfway through the show that I was on the air, because I knew so much had went down yesterday. I felt like I was kind of out of the loop, even though we hit it a little bit on the podcast. And one of the things that went down, or was going down as the show was going on, was the South Bronx rally. Now, having grown up like Jim and Mike in New York City, obviously I know the South Bronx. My wife, Paula, grew up in the Bronx after she came from Columbia. They lived in the Bronx for a long time, so she knows the area well. I used to go to the South Bronx and the Bronx all the time. Why? There was a baseball team that played there. The Yankees. Jim loved them growing up. He's a huge fan. He hated the Mets. Jim was a Yankees fan. And Jim's actually thinking of quitting right now because that's such heresy to him. But being that I'm dominating the mic, Jim was he loved Don Mattingly. He admitted he was definitely a better first baseman than Hernandez. And he also knew that Guidry in his prime was definitely better than Doc Gooden. He says it all the time. So I used to be in the Bronx a lot. And one of the things about the Bronx, everything in New York, if you grew up there, had like a street name, like Queens guys were like Queens Marines, and it's a joke. And then Brooklyn was Crooklyn. Staten Island was Shaolin. That came from Wu-Tang. If you grew up there, you kind of know the lingo. Everything had a name. The Bronx was always the same thing. The Bronx was the Boogie Down Bronx. You doubt me? Go back and listen to one of the most famous rap groups at the time. They were called BDP, Boogie Down Productions. And all they would talk about is the South Bronx. The South Bronx has been Democrat, not just leaning, but I mean like deep blue, like the Bahamas Exuma's water, like that, like a blue you've never seen before. But for as long as I've been alive. I mean, Jim, you're a little older than me. Do you ever remember a time where the Bronx was even like remotely in play for Republicans? No, right. Ever. Not in the mayor's race, not in the governor's race, not in the presidential race. Donald Trump storms the Bronx yesterday, has thousands of people. And don't, please, I'm begging you as a friend, do not fall into this leftist trap. Was it 30,000? Was it 20? Was it 10? It doesn't matter. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. If it was over 500, it's a huge story. And it was far past that. It's a radio show, so I can't show you video. Audio's a great forum, but the one limitation is I can't obviously show you video on a radio show. Let's just say a friend of mine. Maybe I'll play these for you on Tuesday because we're off on Monday for Memorial Day. On the podcast. A friend of mine sent me some behind-the-scenes video of the rally. I think you can all put two and two together, okay? It's not behind the scenes like backstage. Behind the scenes in that they were at various checkpoints. He sent me about 6 or 7 videos. I'll play for you on Tuesday on the podcast. You tell me there weren't massive crowds at this event, and I'm going to call you an absolute life loser and a moron. You're just lying. You're just lying. It is a deep blue area that has never even considered a Republican candidate for president before. Donald Trump storms down there like a conquering hero, like he's Christopher Walken, like the king of New York. And at a minimum, thousands of people show up. Joe Biden goes to some of the deepest blue parts of working class states. And ladies and gentlemen, there's 50 people there at best. Jim was kind enough to put this together because the snapshots yesterday, the photos from this event are devastating, folks. The left is freaking out. You know what? Wait, before I get to, let's play the left first. Jim, cut one. Here is CNN. In case you think, again, this is Dan Bongino's spin, despite the fact I'm promising on Tuesday to show you the videos, there's no faking them. They're taken from a friend's cell phone. You will see the crowds were absolutely massive there yesterday. So you can believe the liberal spin all you want. You're just making a moron out of yourself, not me. I have receipts. You have nothing but your dopey opinions. Here is CNN with a reporter at the scene having to acknowledge while they're crying and wetting their diapers, the snapshots and sound bites ain't so good coming out of this thing. Check this out.
What was the crowd like, and what kind of response did he get?
Well, certainly a bigger crowd than I think Democrats would like to see, particularly given this is one of the bluest counties in the entire country. Now, one of the things that was interesting to me is that the Trump campaign said that they were going to micro-target to get people from the community to come to this rally. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've gone to a lot of these rallies across the country, and there are often people who travel hundreds of miles to see Donald Trump, and they're not necessarily part of the community. However, one of the things that I found was that there were a lot of people here that were actually from the Bronx.
You know, again, you hear what she said at the end? Oh, I'm surprised. There are actually a lot of people here from the Bronx. And yet you go on Twitter today. We've got these kind of no-name, anonymous people on Twitter who claim to be on our side. Oh, we're Republican. We're just trying to protect the brand. Oh, we should be careful about the Trump rally. Looks like a lot of out-of-towners. Really? Really? You got a CNN reporter on the scene, and let's just say a friend of mine saying that's absolute BS. Were there out-of-towners? Of course. There are out-of-towners at every Trump rally. People fly into Tuscaloosa to go see a Trump rally. It was the Bronx. If even 10% of the crowd was from the Bronx, it's still more people than Joe Biden would get, and he's an actual Democrat. I'm not kidding. Go to Twitter and look. You'll see all that. They're so hurt, these people. They just can't get over it. Jim, you know what I'm talking about? We got to be careful here, folks. I think we're overestimating. Crowds don't mean anything. It's amazing how when Obama was running for president and there were thousands of people at his rallies, I specifically remember warning friends of mine because I'd been through political campaigns before. I mean, I only did this for a living. Hey, man, this dude's going to win. And they were like, nah, not going to win. People like this McCain guy. He was a war hero. I said, bro, you do you. I'm just telling you, I was on Bush's detail at the time. He was the president. The campaign, what they call the CNOS detail, candidate nominee operations section, the CNOS guys were calling me, telling me, dude, this guy's going to win. He is packing them in everywhere. Crowds don't matter. Let me tell you something. Crowds do matter. Are they dispositive? Does it mean Trump's going to win? No. Crowds don't matter. You realize you sound like an idiot? It's like saying polls don't matter. Folks, are polls dispositive? Do I take polls seriously? No, not all of them. Do they not matter? No, they do matter. You know why? Even if they're totally wrong, donors look at polls to give you money. Don't say they don't matter. You're just stupid. Does it mean if polls show Trump ahead by 20, does that mean he's going to win? No, I don't trust polls at all. You're a donor wants to give $5 million to a Trump PAC. You want to see Trump down 20 or up 20? Oh, okay. So they do matter. You realize how dumb you sound on the right and the left when you say stupid things like this? We got to be careful. It didn't look like a lot of Bronx people. Really? Were you there? No, I wasn't. How do you know that? I don't. I'm looking at a bunch of people. There are a lot of white people. Have you been to the Bronx? There are white people who live in the Bronx. Jim, you know New York pretty well. Can you confirm there are some white people who live in the Bronx? Mike, can we double down? I used to date a woman who lived in the Bronx near Jacoby, and the dad, she was white. It was so crazy. But you think they're not allowed in? Yeah, but Jim's like, I've been there once or twice. I saw a few white people around. So weird. So weird how that is. This is what happens when the prion, these prions, these infectious, like renegade, like protein molecules that infect your brain and destroy like mad cow disease. This is what happens when the TDS prion infects your brain. Logic goes out the window. You say common sense things to people. All facts. I'm not exaggerating these at all. The South Bronx is deep blue. Fact.